Bellator announced their featherweight tournament. You guys saw you
Not bad, huh?
Yeah, it looks absolutely amazing. I actually, yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I got really excited when I heard the first fight. Basically, it was gonna be Patricio and Juan Archuleta. But then you have these other fights that are already announced. So you have Bellator on September 7th. You got Strauss versus Campos, Curran versus Boric, Sanchez
God, that's
versus.
a good fight.
That's gonna be a good fight.
That's a good fight, dude. I cannot wait for that fight.
And you have Sanchez versus Claxton. You got Cecilia versus Carvalho. You've got Pitbull and Archuleta. Caldwell versus Corrales. Weichel versus Rogers. And McKee versus Karahanyan. What's the fight, outside of the title fight, obviously, what's the fight that stands out to you the most?
Well, there's two. And, I will say it because, well, I mean, God, they're all good. I mean, come on. They're all so good. But, I talked about the Pat Curran, fight. That against Adam Borch, man, that's a good fight. Because look at least when, Pat got back in and he got back in against AJ McKee and, AJ got that win, but there was some things that Pat did that were good. There's some things he has to shore up and take care of. But he's fighting a guy in Adam Borch who just got that win against Aaron Pico, and he's so good. But there's a fight in there that Daniel Weichel against Sal Rogers. Mm-hmm. And look at it. People don't know who Sal Rogers is. Josh, you know who he is. Mm-hmm. I know who he is, but I know he is because he was on The Ultimate Fighter and he beat everybody. In fact, Ryan Hall just had a fight in Sacramento. Ryan Hall, I did his fight against Sal Rogers in The Ultimate Fighter, and Sal Rogers beat Ryan Hall.
Yeah.
And then beat everybody else there was. And then Ryan Hall got the opportunity to come back and fight for that title, I guess, if you want to call it there, to win the Ultimate Fighter show because Sal Rogers' he had visa problems. He couldn't get back in the country. And he hasn't been, able to come out and fight the guys that he was fighting before in the U.S. Now he's back. And I will tell you, he is super strong. He is fast. He's good on his feet. He's got good wrestling. That's a great matchup with him and Daniel Weichel. That is such a good fight. I cannot wait to see that fight.
Yeah, that's going to be good. I mean, just the power and the strength that he has and what he possesses with his wrestling, his credentials in wrestling, just everything about him just says he's a true fighter, like to the top to the bottom. He's very well rounded. Did his fight in where were we at in Birmingham? I think I did his fight there. I think against Aiden Lee, and I think they had a fantastic fight. What a fight! And that fight definitely excites me. For me, though, from what I understand, I talked to Scott Coker last night. I was with him, and he said that Juan Archuleta asked to have Patricio for the first round. He wanted this fight, but why? Like, why? For me, in my mind, I was thinking those two would meet in the finals.
Yeah, I can understand you looking at it that way, but I want you to think about this. If you're Juan Archuleta and you have gone through 18 straight opponents and you've been asking, you wanted Darian Caldwell, then Darian Caldwell goes and fights Horiguchi, and then you know what? You end up fighting the ex-champion in Dantas and you knock him out. Why wait? He's saying, hey, I want to fight the champion now. I'm wanting the tournament. I want to fight the champion. I want to beat the champion, and I want to move on as the champion in that tournament. That's what makes Juan Archuleta who he is. And that's why I love watching him. He's a believer in himself. That is a huge, factor in fighting. You know it. I know it. Confidence is everything. And right now, both of those guys, Pitbull, he's confident right now. Look at his last fight against Chandler and what happened. And look at Archuleta against Dantas. Both guys are confident. Both believe that they're going to win. And that's what you want to see in that kind of title fight.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. Yeah, the first fight that I saw that kind of stood out to me though was the Curran and Boric fight because that reason why that stood out to me is not so much just stylistically for that fight, but was I look back at the Pico fight and the Boric fight and I was like, was that the fight to see who got into this tournament?
I think it was.
Because now Pico's not in the tournament, and I'm thinking to myself, there goes your opportunity and your chance to win $1 million. Because you have...
I think Scott Coker said, all right, you know what? I got an idea, and I don't know. I have slots, and I don't have, I have 16. That's a lot, but I have a lot more than 16 fighters at featherweight. I need to put the best guys in here. well, we're going to find out who's the best. And Adam Borch won that fight, and he's in the tournament, and that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, him versus Curran Pico versus Curran would have been interesting. Just the experience of Curran, that would have been an interesting fight. But I think Borch.
I would like to see. I would have loved to see it, and I understand why he's not. But look at who just recently signed with Bellator at featherweight is Robin van Rossmeulen. Man, I would have loved to see Robin in there, but I mean, you got to give him a chance. He's coming over from Glory in the kickboxing world and coming into MMA, so I understand why they did it.
Yeah.
I would have really loved to have seen him, maybe matched up in there.